In today's episode, you'll also see another viral video featuring humanoids. Over in China, they showed the G1 Unitree doing household chores without teleoperation, just using artificial intelligence as the robot's brain. Engine Artificial Intelligence introduced the T800, not T800, not yet, the combat-ready humanoid that promises to shake up robotics as soon as 2025. And Microsoft gathered 2 data centers and created the first artificial intelligence superfactory that's capable of training giant models in just a few weeks. Tiny nanorobots with 95% accuracy? This is the new weapon against diseases, and it travels through our bodies. Physicists claim to have proven whether or not we're living in a simulation. Let's understand all of this. Hello, impressed viewers. I'm Carlos Alves, and you're watching Amazing Reality. Let's get to the video. It's a fact that the humanoid robot industry is getting more and more intense, as you could see from the latest videos we've made here on the channel, isn't it? And Engine Artificial Intelligence is yet another Chinese company that seems to want to put on this show. The T800, their full-size humanoid model, drew significant attention at its debut at the World Robot Conference in 2025. Built for heavy-duty tasks, it is 1.85 meters tall, weighs 85 kilograms, and features 41 high-degree of freedom joints. And to support all of that, it has a solid-state battery and aluminum alloy covering so it can withstand impacts and industrial demands. He's not just another demonstration robot, he's already the main star of the competition. Robot Boxer, a free robot combat event, is set for December 24th. Organized by Engine Artificial Intelligence, but behind its brawler image lies a more sophisticated strategy. Engine Artificial Intelligence has been betting on its combat competitions as high-stress laboratories. In these controlled environments, humanoids face extreme physical situations. Falls, impacts, loss of balance, and rapid movement reading. This greatly accelerates hardware and algorithm development. A robot capable of facing all these pressure conditions ends up becoming, inevitably, much more resilient for any other task that comes after. That is, logistics, distribution centers, hospitals, customer service, and why not in law enforcement? Are you afraid of all that, my friend? While it promotes questionable tournaments and sci-fi movies, the company is also testing its humanoid robots in entirely different settings. In Shenzhen, Engine Artificial Intelligence's robots became cyber employees in a retail store through a partnership with Jingdong.com. There, they interacted with customers, sold products, walked among the shelves, and are dealing with real people. It's both a bold display to draw global attention and a practical demonstration that the technology works. All of this reinforces the image of a company that understands the internet and uses virality as fuel to fund and accelerate research. Now, with the T800, the company aims to make nearly 1,000 robots by 2026. It clearly states the main goal is to have these humanoid robots in our homes as assistants for chores. That's why, according to them, all the technology developed for combat, dynamic stability, body coordination, and quick decision-making will be redirected to something much more common: sweeping the floor, cleaning, picking up objects, living with us human beings in a safe way. According to them, in the end, the T800, which is not yet the T800, is less about fighting and more about movement engineering. Combat is just the stage. The real product is the robot designed to work with us daily. We hope things go smoothly, but they won't. It's unavoidable. Are you already using artificial intelligence in your daily life? If so, congratulations. Do you know why? It is estimated that in 5 years, 92 million jobs will cease to exist. On the other hand, 170 million new jobs will be created. But there's always a catch, isn't there? These won't be jobs where, at some level, you won't have to master artificial intelligence. FIES reports that in Brazil, artificial intelligence could affect 45% of the workforce. And Microsoft connected 2 of its largest data centers, one in Wisconsin, I think that's how you say the name of that city, and the other in Atlanta. The idea is to create a kind of artificial intelligence superfactory, which is capable of training giant models in just a few weeks. Not months like it used to be. They are part of this new class of facilities called data centers for water, designed to operate as a single distributed supercomputer. Each system shares architecture and data flow, functioning as a single unit, even when separated by long distances. The goal is to accelerate the development of OpenAI's models and Microsoft's own superintelligence team, using advanced GPUs on a scale that a single center can no longer support. Alistair Spires, Azure's infrastructure manager, says traditional data centers handle millions of small tasks, but this new artificial intelligence superfactory dedicates millions of hardware pieces to a single colossal task: training ever larger models. And they've reached the stage where they need to handle hundreds of trillions of parameters, something that's impossible, at least for now, in a single location. This architecture uses NVIDIA systems, Treb Docentos GPUs, and NVL72, which can scale to hundreds of thousands of GPUs. Blackwell in two-story racks with liquid cooling, efficient, and minimal water usage is an infrastructure designed for maximum density, not just to add more machines. Also, Microsoft is building artificial intelligence. One, a dedicated fiber optic network linking the two data centers to enable near light speed, congestion-free data transfer. This move comes during an infrastructure race with genius data. Of these tech giants, Microsoft has directed a large portion of its $34 billion in annual investment toward data centers and GPUs. Amazon is doing the same with its Project Reiner, while Meta, Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic are also investing billions in new chips, networks, and facilities. Some analysts see a bubble, but Microsoft claims that the demand is real and is supported by long-term contracts that already exceed supply. The company's first artificial intelligence superfactory is not just another data center. It's a clear sign that we are indeed entering a new era. An era where the size of the hardware is no longer the limit. The speed of building new factories for these artificial intelligences becomes crucial for the future. When we talk about modern warfare, many people still imagine tanks, missiles, and helicopters too, but the real battlefield is changing rapidly. And Extended Reality Incorporated, a military technology company from Israel, has just signed a multi-million-dollar contract with the United States Department of Defense to produce one-way tank drone kits. These disposable vehicles carry warheads and can patrol the sky until they find a target and dive into it. But the difference isn't the drone itself, it's the swarm. Extended created technology enabling one person to control several drones simultaneously. This is a coordinated swarm that can support troops or operate fully autonomously. This operation runs on XOS, the company's platform that unifies sensors, radars, payloads, and third-party software into one mission system. All of this is guided by artificial intelligence. Communication was also designed for hostile environments. Drones use reinforced radio frequencies, or, if needed, fiber optic cables to prevent enemies from blocking their signal. This allows dozens or even hundreds of drones to share information in real time while they search entire neighborhoods for a target. Extended Chief Executive Officer Abe Shapira says, "The future of this system is clear thanks to artificial intelligence advances. You can say, have 5 or 100 drones go to this location and look for this individual. If they find him, let me know." The level of automation is no longer just a technological leap, but is rewriting the logic of war. At this point, the question is inevitable. It's about limits, not technology. When a human operator controls 100 drones or more, it's still the human being who is really making the final decision. Or is it the artificial intelligence? In that swarm he just released, actually, I'd prefer if you shared your opinion instead. Since Boston Dynamics introduced Big Dog back in 2004, robot dogs have stopped being just a laboratory curiosity and have become real tools in dozens of sectors. Security, surveillance, military testing, companionship, almost everything has already appeared. But now, a new video from China shows a use that's quite interesting. Robot dogs acting as firefighters. It's Unitree, now a global leader in quadruped and humanoid robotics, developing a specialized new version of its B2C model, a reinforced platform that turns the robot into a helper, capable of entering dangerous places, carrying equipment, transmitting real-time video, and even spraying water or foam directly at fires. The test footage provided by the company quickly went viral. The video shows a firefighter attaching a high-pressure hose to the robot's back. The B2C advances through the vegetation and stops in front of the flames as if trained for it. Then, the jet shoots out a strong and steady stream from what we can see, and the robot stands firm as it begins to extinguish the fire. The operation is remotely controlled by a human. The robot goes into the place where a human firefighter would be risking their life. For many users in China, that was the best part. One of them wrote the following: "This is the real direction of technological development, to help people, not to replace them." But here in the West, the debate took a different turn. On forums like Reddit, users questioned whether these robots would withstand the extreme pressure of hoses used in the United States, which are designed for very intense fires, especially in high-rise buildings. One of the comments summed it up well. If the dog isn't very heavy, you'll need several dogs to hold the hose. However, according to Omnitree, that's not quite the case. That module has a nominal flow rate of 40 liters per second, over twice what the New York Fire Department uses in high-rise buildings. But the company didn't reveal the exact pressure or flow rate. It shows up in the viral video, casting doubt on the system's scalability and robustness. Even so, the video is powerful. A robotic quadruped faces heat, smoke, and danger without risking any humans. That one, I really agree with that comment from this Chinese person. That's technology being used for the benefit of humans, not to replace them. But I have a certain pessimism, you know? It's going to replace all of us. There will be nowhere to run. And now, a very complicated subject, but one that is on most people's minds and has to do with Back to the Future. It's more or less the idea that we live in a digital simulation. The Matrix popularized this idea, which is also backed by Nick Bostrom, Elon Musk, and Neil deGrasse Tyson. This always seemed like a mix of science fiction and philosophy, but now, a group of physicists says they've done something unexpected. The discussion has become scientific, and they claim to have reached a definite conclusion in a published article with the source linked in the description. Professor Mir Faisal from the University of British Columbia, Okanagan, along with his colleagues, claim to have mathematically demonstrated that the universe cannot be a simulation. According to them, our reality includes elements that a computer could never replicate. Not now or in the future, even with unlimited technology. It begins with Bostrom's famous 2003 hypothesis. It said that if an advanced civilization managed to create simulated universes, it would create millions of them. Each universe, upon reaching a certain point, could create its own simulations. This would create endless layers of artificial realities. According to several scientists, researchers, and experts, statistics suggest we are almost certainly living in a simulation. Faisal disagreed and chose to solve this question with basic mathematics. The study uses theorems from the Inquisition, from Spula, from a ting-dong history closing of Danal. But in the view of this team of researchers, physical reality has elements that require something different, a non-algorithmic understanding, something that cannot be reduced to steps of calculation. They argue that this deeper level doesn't exist. Within space-time, it creates space-time. If this is true, then any simulation would, by definition, be too limited to reproduce the real universe, even in theory. The researchers' conclusion, then, is the following. The universe is not and could never be a simulation. There is no blue or red pill, no escape from the Matrix, my friends. We must face whatever comes, good or bad. And sometimes a video of just a few seconds is enough to shake up an entire industry. And that's exactly what happened after Mingyuan Robotics, a brand new Chinese startup, released a demonstration of Unitree's humanoid robot, the G1 performing some household tasks with movements so natural that many people simply couldn't believe what they saw. The video shows something that robotics has been trying to achieve for decades now. True autonomy in real-world scenarios. And the G1 featuring the I1, the artificial intelligence brain from this new startup, it appears watering plants, opening curtains, picking up packages, sorting objects, cleaning surfaces, and even crawling on its knees to clean a floor. In one of the most surprising moments, it crouches to pick up trash under a table. Fluid, smooth, almost human-like movements appeared, later playing with a child in the backyard. What really caught attention wasn't what it did, but what the company wrote. No acceleration or teleoperation in this video, which instantly sparked skepticism and admiration. This can't be real, wrote a user on X. If it's true, China is years ahead, wrote another. And that's exactly the point, because today the big obstacle in robotics isn't the hardware, it's the bottleneck of autonomy. Unitree, maker of the G1, has stressed this point for a while. Their top project now is the embedded avatar, a teleoperation platform. It lets humans pilot robots to create real movement data. All of this creates data, which is vital for training physical AIs. Wang Xingxing, Chief Executive Officer of Unitree, says reaching the moment chat 80% task completion means the robot must achieve 80% task completion in 80% of unknown scenarios, an 80/80 goal. He says the industry is advancing much faster than expected. It's in this challenging scenario that the Mind One video appears as something truly surprising. Not like a slow, rehearsed, and repetitive prototype as we've seen in some other presentations, but as something that really seems generalized. Something that's agile and useful, even seeming like it has a life of its own. Are you kidding me? And that's something experts don't usually see. Chris Paxson, a reference in artificial intelligence for robotics, wrote the following: a video where the robot actually interacts with the environment without being slow. That's really impressive, if it's true, right? Mind One makes it clear that it's not. Someone's Instagram. Ethicalotica, 6 months of existence, was founded in May 2025, a meteoric growth. Yeah, right. And now, a viral demonstration that made the world stop to see what's going on. The result is a mix of excitement and unease. If the video is really real, it represents a huge leap in the race for the autonomy of these robots. ETH Zurich has shown that micro-robots can deliver medication directly to a clot with 95% accuracy. This is a silent revolution that could transform the treatment of strokes, as well as tumors and deep infections. Basically, it's a spherical capsule just a few millimeters wide that's coated in a soluble gel and loaded with two critical technologies: iron oxide nanoparticles, which allow it to be controlled externally with magnets, and tantalum nanoparticles, which make it possible to track its path through X-rays. These robots don't swim through the bloodstream on their own, at least for now. The team created a modular electromagnetic system using 3 techniques to handle fast, turbulent currents. In one example, the robot rolls along the blood vessel wall with precise control, staying on course at 4 millimeters per second. When it reaches the clot, a high-frequency magnetic field heats up its internal nanoparticles, melting the gel layer and releasing the medicine right where it's needed. No invasive surgery, no spreading drugs throughout the entire body. It's just a localized intervention, direct and surgically precise. If this technology is truly safe and effective for humans, it could save lives worldwide and usher in an era where microscopic robots patrol the inside of our bodies, finding diseases even before they become fatal. Did you enjoy our content? Subscribe here and find all sources in the description. Thank you so much for sticking with me, really. Thank you. You always make it to the end, so leave a comment.